And we also have Keith Floyd here as well, which was an absolute surprise and delight.
Well, I kind of gate crashed because I'm staying with Jean-Christophe for a few weeks, and he was already committed to come here. And I thought, well, I haven't even been to Bedford before, or Bedfordshire, so I'm coming along for the ride.
Superb. And where are you living now, and what are your way of life now?
My way of life is taking a dramatic change from my previous life. I run a restaurant in Thailand, and I also plan to open a bit of a cookery school in the south of France. So if all goes well, later on this year I'll spend the winters in Thailand, which is wonderful, the English winters in Thailand, and the European summers in the south of France, and basically try and take things a little bit easier, although I've been novellied. And he's determined that I should do a few demonstrations at his academy at just outside of Luton. So I'll be doing that as well.
So you may be back here again then?
Oh, indeed, yes.
Excellent news. Tell me, what are your thoughts on local produce? Obviously very different in Thailand and the south of France.
Oh, absolutely. But I come from Somerset, and I was born during the Second World War. And I lived in a small agricultural village where the farmers literally drove their cattle to the market by hoof, where people went ferreting for rabbits, mushrooming. So I'm very much of origin a country person. And of course, because there was rationing on at that time, we had to be very self-sufficient. And so my father, who was a great gardener, and my mother, who was a great cook, combined, despite our very limited income, to give us the most wonderful food. And there was a price to pay. We children, in the misty mornings of September, would tramp over the fields and meadows collecting mushrooms. In the hot August sun, we'd be out collecting blackberries or elderberries from my father's terrible elderberry wine, which was awful. But we used to drink it, mixed with my mother's homemade raspberry vinegar when they'd gone to bed.
So you're very much for local and homegrown.
Absolutely. Farmers markets, local produce, I support 100%. Sadly, I'm not a political person, but I don't believe our successive governments have paid the attention to our farmers, our fishermen, and our vegetable growers and stuff like that. For me, it's a scandal that these hard-working people, as Jean-Christophe mentioned, many of whom are barely scraping a living, and it all seems to be down to Brussels and stuff like that. We've sold out our gastronomic sovereignty to the European Union, and I'm totally against it.
Thank you.